What's going on, guys, everybody? Richard back here at Fitness for My Podcast, episode 3 from season 1. I got some special guests here today. I'm going to introduce them really quickly. We've got Stephen Case right here in the house. Steve,
What's going on, guys? Stephen Case, sponsor athlete for Ultimate Sport Nutrition.
That's right. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then we got the sexy beast over here, Danny. Danny, say hello.
What's up?
How you doing today?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. You guys are here. I'm doing great.
There we go.
So really quick before we get started, guys, I'm going to introduce our sponsors really quick. Once again, Ultimate Sport Nutrition. And one shop in San Diego. Come by, get your supplements here. Secondly, Chula Vista Jiu-Jitsu, Big Ron. If you guys want to get a class, go see Ron for me. Tell him I sent you. He'll take care of you. Next up, we got TG Wellbeing, Rick, Will. Go see them, sign up for your membership. Also to our apparel shout out, South Bay Heavy Hitters. If you guys want to lift heavyweight, pick up some gear here, all right?
Gotta get it.
All right, guys, so it's the month of June. We know what that is, right? Danny, what's the month of June?
It's Men's Mental Health Month.
That is correct. And, it's one of those kind of subjects that I feel that it's kind of a gray area that some people do address, some people don't. So I think it's a good time before the month ends that we bring it up on this episode and share a little bit of ourselves and about, our story with fitness, mental health, and all the above. So, let's just get it started. So, Steve, tell me your story. What got you into fitness and bodybuilding like you're doing right now?
So, I guess it was right after high school. For me, like when I was 18 years old, I was trying to figure out what I want to do in my life. And I was really into playing football, so I was really athletic. I was into sports competition and all that stuff. I didn't really touch the gym until I would say I was like 20 years old.
Okay.
When I was like serious about it.
Nice.
Like semi-serious, so I wasn't like fully committed, but I was doing my thing, trying to get bigger. And I was always like, my brothers were the people I was looking up to, because I remember when my brother was active in the military and he went to Afghanistan, and that man, he got big. And I was like, dude, I got to be like you one day.
Yeah.
So, my motivation started with my family. And then I just got into it when I got here to TG, when this place started opening up back in 2022, I think.
Right. Prior after that time of shutdown. We won't say what, but we know exactly what happened then.
Yeah.
COVID time. So, okay.
I met up with one of the guys here, and they got me into the bodybuilding industry.
How do you like it so far?
Oh, I love it, man. I thought I wouldn't really get so into it as far as in depth, actually competing and actually seeing what I can do, what my body can achieve,
Okay.
And I love it, man.
It's awesome. And Danny, how about you?
Me, I got into fitness, it's because I was overweight. I used to be a soccer coach.
Okay.
And then I realized how big I was. I was just fat. I was 240 pounds, but fat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I just said, I just got to lose weight. My mentality wasn't all bodybuilding. It was just to lose weight. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go to the gym, start losing weight, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually I started noticing people at the gym at Choose Fitness.
Mm-hmm.
People all cut up, shredded. I'm like, damn, I want to see how I would look like that.
Yeah.
So I started getting into more meal prepping, and training like that. But I didn't get into actual training for bodybuilding until the pandemic.
Okay.
And I started training over there. It used to be called Fitness World. And
Yes.
I met Alan Garcia, Alan Mariano, which is my coach for South Bay Muscle. Alan.
There you
That's
go.
coach.
There you go. South Bay Muscle. Yes.
And I started with him. This was back in 2021, I believe, and that's when I started the whole Work Conquer Active brand.
That's right.
And then he's helped me out a lot. And then I did my first show in 2023. And I did my last show 2 weeks ago, the most recent one. And but yeah, it's helped me out a lot, man. I never thought I'd get into bodybuilding, but I'm glad I did, because I learned so much about myself.
That's awesome.
Crazy.
That's super awesome. You guys know me too. Fitness has just been a part of my life. I got into it back when I was 19 years old, and I worked at 24 Hour Fitness. My first job out of high school, just played football. I wasn't really an athlete growing up. I was more of a nerd, playing video games, bigger kid, and then my brothers convinced me to play some football, and I had fun with it, played some rugby. But once I got into the fitness, even still then, I didn't really know too much. It was kind of watching Arnold, the guys do for, all the big guys, cool, I want to be big and buff. That looks cool,
Yeah.
But never did I really knew what it entailed to actually look like that or be like that. I thought just go lift some weights, eat food, you're going to be jacked.
Yeah.
Definitely nothing like that. So, I'm 32 now, so if you do the math, it's been quite a few years I've been in this industry that even now I'm barely starting to critique my body and get into better shape I've ever been. So, yeah, definitely something fun. I know that we all love it, and I'm glad you guys are on board to talk about it right now and what you guys go through with this process. So, yeah. So basically my first question is, you guys both have done some shows, correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. And Danny, you said you just had a show recently about a week ago, 2 ago?
Yeah.
And you got that dub, right?
I got that dub for
There you
my
go.
class, yeah.
Hey, what class was that?
It was novice. It was my second show, so I had to do novice.
Nice.
So I did novice and I did the open.
There you go.
Yeah, so.
Hard work paid off, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, for
There you
sure.
go.
For
How'd
sure.
you feel when you got that win?
Oh, it was the best feeling ever, man. Like
There
I
you
was
go.
so emotional after.
That's good,
On
man.
the way home, so I mean, it's a good feeling, man. Not that
That's
many
awesome.
people can say I won first place in a bodybuilding competition.
I mean, I know I can't,
Yeah,
so
so-
100% more kudos
Yeah.
to you, brother. Congrats.
Thank you, thank
Congrats on
you.
that win, you guys.
I'm pretty. You got one too, right?
Yeah, my very first competition. It was back in 2022.
There you go.
My first one, and I didn't know what to expect. You know,
Yeah.
I was like dipping into something different. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when my coach at the time was telling me like, you got potential, you know, do it,
Yeah.
like just let's do it.
Yeah.
So leading up to the competition, I remember when I first started, I was like, I'm gonna do this for fun, like you know, I don't care where I place.
Yeah.
Getting closer and closer in the to show day, I was like, all right, I'm gonna win this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it, you know.
You were
And
locked
so,
in.
I was locked in, man.
That's right.
Like after about, I would say like when I was like 8 to 7 weeks out,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I was like, all right, you know, that's when I'm gonna start, you know, flipping the switch.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I went to LA, did the LA championships, and then got first place on the True Novice and Open division. So it was dope. Like, I mean, I didn't expect to get first, you know?
Yeah.
And so, great experience. And then I didn't go to nationals after that. I wanted to take a year off because I know nationals is like the next step up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's gonna be intense, you know? So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'll give myself some time. I gave myself a little too much time, and I got a little like, you know, carried
Yeah.
away, you know, food-wise.
It happens.
And I had a competition back in November. November, and it didn't go well for me. I got 9th place, and so it was like a humbling experience, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, like get back to the drawing board, figure it out.
Yeah.
And so next time around, you know, number 3 is gonna be it.
There you go.
Get
There
that
you
first
go.
place again.
And I'm sure for both you guys, it was definitely a challenging experience, right?
Oh yeah.
100%.
You know, not only on the physical side, but I'm sure the mental side, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
of course.
dude.
Oh yeah.
You guys, I'm sure you guys can touch base on that, right?
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
big time.
I mean, share something. Tell me a mental thing that you guys never thought you would endure about that process, and what was the hardest aspect on the mental for you? Like, you know, whoever wants to go, just Danny, go first.
Well, my first show was actually like the worst. Like mentally, I was bad. Like I was depressed. I was
Okay.
suicidal. Like it got deep.
Yeah,
It got
yeah.
real deep. And you know, the hardest part was well, everything was hard. You know, it's just I felt alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, as much as we say people are there for us, but like in our heads, they're not there.
Yep.
You know, it's just this simple thing of feeling alone, and that's what makes you go crazy. You know?
100%.
Yeah, so
It's-
it's. But I learned so much from that prep.
Yeah.
Like, so much. And the second prep that I did, oh man, it was like I had the time of my life. Like I cannot
Yeah.
complain. I was so happy, even though I missed eating.
Yeah.
But I was happy, like genuinely happy.
That's good,
So
dude.
I had to
That's-
make so much changes.
That's really good. And what would you say some of the practices were that helped you, you know, to get through those days of, you know, being so down and low on yourself? Because I think that's a big thing that a lot of people don't know, and the whole mental health awareness. Like, we all know us men, everybody go through struggles, the depression, anxiety, you know, the thoughts of suicide. We have all of that. But the real depth, and I think that I want us to touch base is like, what did you do for yourself to get you to those toughest moments? Because I've been in those moments, and they're tough. So
Yeah.
I can relate with you on that for
Yeah.
sure.
And well, at that time, I think it was more of like my mistake was not reaching out to people.
Okay.
You know, it's like me, I took everything personal.
Okay.
And you have to learn how to not take everything personal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, say my friends would go out, they wouldn't invite me. I'm like, hey, you know what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
you know, that's what made me feel like people didn't want me around. Like,
Mhm.
I didn't feel like wanted.
I get
So,
you.
but I had to, like, after that, I had to learn, hey, you know, people are not gonna, if people see what you're doing, they're not gonna put you in situations to where you're gonna mess up.
Yeah.
So I had to realize that.
Yeah.
And then, in order to not feel lonely, if you feel a certain way, reach out to people.
Yeah.
You know, don't wait for people to come to you, because at the end of the day, it's like not everybody's like you. And if you need to talk to people, you reach out.
Yeah,
So-
100%. I think that's the biggest thing, especially for men's mental health awareness. I think that's the biggest stigma that we all struggle with, is that men, we feel like the persona that we have to have of being a man, leading and all that stuff, like, we can't reach out. We can't talk
Yeah.
about. We got to be macho, do it. Hey, it is what it is. Get through the day, go to sleep, tomorrow's the day, and got to keep doing it. And I think that's the issue that a lot of us struggle with, and a lot of men, you know, struggle with. I mean, you look at the statistics and the numbers of just this year alone, how many men have already taken their lives because of them not feeling that they can reach out
Yeah.
and ask for help or just talk to somebody, and that's the hardest part. And I think that that's why this podcast here, not only just for what we're talking about, but to get that out, and especially in this episode, talk about it's okay to reach out and talk, whether you're a man or a woman. Don't be afraid to reach out.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, that's awesome that you learn from that, because some people don't. That's because you learn that, you're sharing that, because I'm sure for you, the how do you say it? The energy that you bring to this gym here, man, the vibe, just your training, your work ethic, who you are, and how you carry yourself. Hearing someone like you, that a lot of people here look up to you. So I think
thank you.
hearing you saying that, bro, it's gonna help radiate with a lot of people, whether they come up to you or not.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's definitely a lot. So thank you for sharing that, being open, brother. I appreciate it.
I appreciate that.
100%. Steve,
What's going on?
you're on the spot now. No, I'm just kidding. But how about you, man? How about when you went through this prep? Did you endure any kind of like mental struggles? You felt like certain ways, whatever it is? Just be honest and open. Share what you want, but just same aspect with Danny. What did you go through?
Yeah. So I can put in like my first prep and then my second. So my first prep, I was dipping into something new. So I didn't know how to handle everything as far as physically, mentally, emotionally, going through not just in the gym but outside the gym.
Yeah.
So like I had to learn how to like manage my time, manage at the time like my relationships with people and everything. And so it wasn't as bad. I would say my first prep was pretty chill.
Yeah.
I was just struggling as far as keeping my health and just being on point in the training, cardio, all that stuff. So I love the first prep. It was great. It was a great experience. I think my second prep was really hard on me just because this related to family. At the time when I first started my prep, I had eyes on a competition in September of last year.
Yeah.
It didn't pan out that way because when I first started prep back in April, my cousin unfortunately took his life, and it was due because he wasn't really opening up to the struggles and hardship he was going through. Yeah. So he was dealing with things on his own, and he's out in Colorado, and one of my closest cousins, I hold dear, and unfortunately he did what he had to do. And it was hard, and it was like my first start of my prep, my first week, and I was taking photos for my coach, and then I got that, news. It was like early in the morning, and I just briefly remember how hard it was, and I was like, damn, like, it took me like months to get through it, and it still does, like it's never easy. This happened a year ago, and so I remember telling myself like I'm gonna get through this, like I'm gonna do my best that I could in my ability to get through this prep, So I did what I could. I know I could have done better, but I mean, I did it for him, I did it for myself, and then I told myself like I can do more, and I'm gonna live for him, and I'm gonna do my thing. So this second prep was very difficult, and I can tell why it didn't. Like the results didn't happen the way it should have because I know I was dealing with more than outside from bodybuilding. So moving forward, like now that I'm my life is getting back to normal again, and I'm trying to do better, everything in all aspects. But it was tough, man. Like I remember like having those days, and I'm just like everything was fine. I was all like happy as best as I can be, and then just it'll hit me, and I'm like,
those
dude.
moments that just bam.
Yeah, man. Like the car ride home, it's one of those days where you just have no music playing. You just, you're just driving and it's just quiet. And I'm just like, man. And then there'll be days I'll just be breaking down because it's my cousin, and I'm just like, it's difficult. It's not easy for anybody. And
of course,
it makes you question like why, like I wish I could have done this. I wish I could have reached out more. I wish, and all my family had the same reason. So I mean, when it comes to that, man, like I didn't know how to cope with it, and it was a first huge loss in my life, and that was the hardest part for me. It was the second prep, and doing way better now, and I know that, and I got to keep living. I got to keep doing my thing and be positive and spread that positivity around others, and try my best to be the best, to the last day for myself here, So, but yeah.
I mean, that's huge, bro. I mean, sharing that story first off, I know we've talked about in this past, my condolences again, brother, to your cousin,
sorry for your loss, man.
It's never easy, man. It's never, I had friends. I have a friend, same thing, happened in the past, and still to this day, it still hits me from time to time, But, I mean, for you to share that and be open, man, it's huge. Seriously, and for you to dedicate your neck, moving forward, your prep, your training, that's huge, man, because to carry that on you, on the mental aspect, and especially family, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. So, not saying I'm giving you kudos more power, but honestly, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep moving forward, because I know he's probably looking down, want you to do this. Keep working hard, keep doing it. And you coming on here sharing this, will help someone, help go through, and I'm sorry again what happened, but
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here, man. You're doing this. We're here. You're looking great. Both of you guys look phenomenal, man. Your guys work ethic. Like I said, you guys have an energy that radiates. Whether you have your days where you're to yourself, or days you talk, you guys have it. That. I mean, that's why I have you guys here.
Yeah.
I genuinely care for you guys, love you guys, appreciate you guys as brothers, and I'm glad that we're here doing this. I mean, me and Danny, we talked the other day, and I've been kind of going through my own little rut right now. I've been, in a little mental headspace that I kind of fell backwards, and that's kind of why I didn't do any episodes for the past few weeks, because I realized I can't promote this podcast and do what I'm trying to do when my mental is not in the place it needs to be. I can't be something and lie about it. But, me and Danny talked the other day, and just kind of hit me like, you know what? Life is what it is. You got to take it for what it is. But the way it works is whatever you can control, take hold of it, fix it, and understand it and grow from it. And whatever you can't control, just let it go, let it be. Don't let it dwell, don't let it eat you up, don't let it destroy you, because when it does, you start to fall back, you lose time, you lose yourself, time passes, you're like, oh my God. This podcast was going great, and we just took a pause, but now we're back. So Danny, thanks, to remind me that, man.
No, yeah, just like how I told you, things happen for a reason, and we had to accept it, whether it's good, whether it's bad, and like how I've said before, I posted on my Instagram, like with every negative comes a positive.
Yeah.
So, we had to accept the negative for what it is. So something good will come out of it. We learn from our mistakes, our experiences, and that's how we grow as people. And it's life is a beautiful thing. We have so many people in this world that care about us.
Yeah.
Like our close friends, our family, and to have like the mindset of like nobody wants me. It's not true. People do care about you, and at the end of the day, the real people that are there for you will look out for you.
Yeah.
And those are the people you're gonna go to and talk to.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it, man. I mean, that's really where it is. And the hardest part is understanding that, accepting that, and putting it to play every day.
Yeah, it's so hard to
Yeah.
accept what happens. It's so hard in the moment, but at the end of the day, you have to like really sit down and analyze as Tony over
Yes,
there.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
We have to really sit down and analyze what's really going on and what's reality.
Yeah,
Right.
and
So
I just feel like we now live in a current, generation of everything's so fast paced, everything's so
Yeah.
quick, and we don't realize, like you said, take a moment, sit back, let the time pass, but analyze. Take yourself a moment, see what's going on and see where you're at, and recenter yourself and start moving forward. But I feel like the moment people feel like they get lost or get behind on everybody else, they shut down, they quit, they want to move on, they want to be, to themselves. And it's fine, respect it, but at the same time, it's like you can't let yourself fall back behind, because you're functioning on your own time, not people's time.
Yeah,
Your own
exactly.
time. So if people are going to be there for you, then be there. If they're not, hey,
it is
I'll
what
see you
it
next
is.
time.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the hardest part. I think a lot of people can't accept and understand,
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, hearing this, seeing you guys here, it's awesome again. I'm happy, see what's next for you guys. I mean, what's next? What's next for the prep? What's going on? Where's the next show?
For me, it's gonna be a whole nother year. Like
Okay.
I'm gonna take time off. Well, I already started my off season, but I plan on getting surgery.
Okay, nice.
For the gyno to
Okay,
be taken
yeah.
out. So
Gotcha.
I'm very open about it. I have taken PEDs, and that's the reason why I'm gonna get the surgery. But
Okay.
I'm going to take a break and to get that done, and then do a bulk.
There you go,
Get
man.
ready for next year.
That's
Hopefully
good.
get that over on the open. So
There you go.
That's right.
What
That's
about
right.
you? What about you, Steve? What's next for you?
Same
you
as
and
him
Daniel
as far
Waits.
as taking some time off,
Okay.
about a year. Right now, I'm currently in the process of trying to move with my cousin, trying to get a little spot together. But I want to give myself a year so I know next time around, my eyes on getting overall,
Yeah.
getting first place,
Yeah.
and then finally get to nationals. Because
Yeah,
I've always
yeah.
been like pushing it away, like I'm not ready, but I'm psyching
Yeah,
myself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna be ready show day because I worked my ass off to get there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm like, all right, now I made it. I did it. Now I got to get to the next step. But I've always been like, I can just
Yeah,
wait.
yeah.
I can do a little bit better.
Yeah.
I won't know until I try,
Yeah.
And so that's the goal. Give myself about a year, and then get to nationals. See if I can get my pro card. And I'm very open about myself too. I've never taken PEDs and all like that. So I'm all natty. So I'm going against a lot of guys who may not be.
Yeah.
And so I do have that disadvantage, but I love it because it makes me push harder. It makes me
Yeah.
want to prove to the world like it's possible.
Exactly.
And I want to do that. So it's prove to the world, but prove to myself, at the end of the day. And so, yeah, I'm going to, work as much as I need to, but this whole year, man, and try to get to nationals and get that pro card, That's the goal.
Set the goal, get it done. Now to touch base on it, I know you kind of touched PEDs. I know you said you didn't take any. It's awesome. I know you kind of touched base on it. Would you say in this journey that you're on with the experience of PEDs like that, did you feel like that maybe had any effects on your mental health or anything like that?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Like, it plays a big part in your mental health. If you're not mentally strong, it does play a big part. It does make you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And I would recommend for people that don't do the sport to do it, especially young kids. A lot of young kids want to take it, and it's not worth it at the end of the day. Especially if you don't plan on trying to go pro or even compete. It's like it does so much damage to your body at the end of the day. And it's you have to constantly get your blood work done, and it takes a toll on the body for sure.
Yeah, like 100%, we do not condone it, but we're just saying, like Danny's saying, it's true. Like it's in this industry, it's in the game. The fitness. You see a lot of people taking different type of PEDs. I'm not gonna say names of what, but you hear a lot of common names, a lot of, sponsored athletes saying some names, making names that are trending. So basically, my take on it is, don't do it unless you really understand it.
Right.
Yes. Know what you're going to do, being healthy about it, getting blood work done, and even still, the biggest thing that people I've heard that I don't know personally, but I've seen, is they try something out and right away they give up. They don't see the weight loss, they don't see the muscle growth after a couple weeks. I'm like, you gotta understand, when it comes to bodybuilding, bodybuilding isn't happening overnight, over a week or two. It takes time, it takes effort. Yes, some people are genetically blessed, that can get it pretty quickly, but even still, they'll tell you that they got to put in the work, the diet, the sleep, the training, the mental aspect. It's all part of it to get it going. And even still, I feel like when you even hop on PEDs, you still got to do the work. You still got to diet. You still got to do right. But my thing is to you guys, especially the young ones that are in this industry and seeing it, eat, train, do what you can, and go as far as you can, and exert everything you can, until you even think about it. And when you think about it, still ask yourself, is this something that you want to do? Because when it comes to this industry, PEDs, like Danny explained, and I'll explain too, because I've had my experience, and I've taken PEDs in my past as well too. It plays a huge role on the mental health. I mean, it's a hormonal drug that says that gets affected. And if you're not doing things correctly, getting blood work done, it's something that can definitely take a toll on your mental, that sometimes it's hard to bounce back from, or even come back from, or even your body function correctly. But I mean, we're not going to go into too much depth, but it's just something that I think you guys got to understand in this industry, that just know what you're doing. Know what you're getting into, know what you're getting, and stuff like that, and ask yourself if you're willing to take the step or not. And that's it, But I mean, you hear from guys that have done it and have done it. There's two sides to it, but regardless, you guys would say that you got to put the work in regardless.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
100%.
of course, yeah.
I mean, I've never done it before, but I've always hear people like, lately, I know it's a trend. A lot of like youngsters, a lot of kids want to just jump on it because they see people, in the industry that are like content creators and stuff, or certain people that are huge and big, and I want to be like them. So they just want to like take whatever, right?
Yeah.
But they don't know what they're taking, and they'll either do too much or whatever it could be, and then it's very harmful.
Yeah.
And just from hearing, from outside and just seeing, and I'm like, man, like if you really, I mean, obviously not do it, but if you really are set to do it, like do your blood work. You're saying, like, make sure you know what's going into your body, because it will affect you, in any aspect. Everybody reacts differently, so you, just because your buddy, it reacts to them so well, doesn't mean it's going to be that to you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Like when I first started taking PEDs, I did my research on every single thing I took. I had to. I was like, I want to know the side effects, what's it do to my body, how my body could react. I did my research before I took anything. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't take it. So, I mean, my advice to the young kids is don't do it. It's bad. Like, it is bad, Yeah, some people do it. I do it. I'm not going to deny that, but for a young kid, it's not worth it. Like, I had a kid ask me, hey, can you coach me? I'm like, yeah. He goes, oh, what should I take? I'm like, nothing. Don't take anything. You're only 17 years old. He goes,
And someone back surprised, so like, what do you mean, don't take anything?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to be a pro. It's like,
yeah, it's like, It's like, no, like reach your natural potential as young as possible. Like your body has so much time to grow, and there's no reason for you to take PEDs so young.
Yeah, it's true, 100%. I mean, you shouldn't at all, but if you do, especially not at a young age,
Yeah.
get the most out of your body. That's what you should do.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's definitely thank you for being open about that as well,
Oh, no
Danny.
problem, no
It's
problem.
awesome because a lot of people like to deny it, say that they're
Yeah.
not, which is cool. No judgment here. But yeah, I mean, so that's awesome. You guys are gonna be doing what you're doing. I hope to see you guys in the year. Next again on stage, getting those pro cards, moving up, going to Olympia. Making something like that.
Getting there, yeah.
That's the goal.
There you go. You guys, I
That's
think
the
you guys
goal.
can both go far in the sport. I mean, you guys already done enough. You
Appreciate
guys
that.
bring a lot of energy. I told you guys do a lot. That's why you have here. We have Steve's sponsor right here, Danny. We're gonna talk about a little more about that. But basically, ask me something. What do you got to ask me something? Because I'm asking you guys some questions.
Yeah.
What do you want to know? Because I don't bodybuild. I just,
Yeah.
you know me. I'm the gorilla in the gym. So.
Let me ask you something.
Uh-oh.
Right? Now going back to the whole thing about like what I did to get through my mental health. What have you done to help you get through your issues that are going on right now?
Well, current issues, I mean, I'll be honest, it's just, I found myself, I went through a recent breakup. I'm not going to detail that, but went through a breakup. I just kind of felt like my life was going downhill. You guys know about my sobriety, my addiction that I had. I was really in a dark place that I finally found a place to start growing from, and I did. I got this podcast started. I started getting back in the gym. Everything was good, awesome. But then one thing that I realized that I do, and I'm not saying I'm ashamed of it, but it's the energy that I give out to the world. Like, a lot of people know me as Rich, as the guy that loves talking to everybody, helping people, hooking people up. What's up at the gym? I'm always talking to somebody. That's just what I do. It's in my nature to do that. But the one thing is I feel that, and I had a few friends that gave me the hard truth and told me straight up, like, Rich, look, man, you're a great dude. Your energy's awesome, man. And you're very strong with energy. So when I'm happy, people feel it. But when I'm down, people feel it. But they said you just got to be mindful of your energy, of how you give it out to people, because some people, it's sad to say, that will take that energy that you give out and take advantage of you.
Yeah.
And they'll use your weakness against you and use stuff to make you do things, think things, feel a certain way. And I experienced that. And honestly, these past month and a half, I kind of fell off. I got in the aspect, my head game started messing. I started overthinking. I started getting anxiety. I mean, it was bad, you know. But it just one night it hit me. I was like, you know what? I was doing something good for myself. Why am I in this aspect now? Take a step back. I drove out to Coronado. Coronado is a place that I go for my peace. It's where I was born. So I go there every day by the ferry island and sit down and think. And honestly, I turned my phone off. I sat in silence and I just took a second and, like we talked about on the podcast, for about grounding myself and looked at it. And I mentioned earlier about realizing the situation. If there's things that I can change and control, I can do it.
Yeah.
There should be no reason for it to stop me. Whatever I can't, just let it go. Just don't dwell on it. And I realized I was dwelling on stuff I had no control of and nothing was going to change. But I said, you know what? I'm done with it. I'm done overthinking. I'm done stressing out. Why? What's the point? Let me put the energy into myself, my fitness, my health. The people that are there for me, that are showing. Because even to the point, I had people that were reaching out to me and trying to be here for me, and I was pushing them away because I was in other aspects of thinking of other people, cares like that, and it was just in the wrong place.
Yeah.
But I took a step back and realized that, and now where I'm at, just in the past few weeks, month, see where I'm at, my fitness, I put more dedication, love into it. I'm at the lightest I've ever been. My body fat's so low. I feel great. I feel healthy. I feel good. But the biggest thing, and I'll be honest about it, that really got me back into myself is God. I fell off, I fell off, and I'm not huge. I'm not a big, spiritual, preaching to people, but myself, I found myself, what's going to help me, get my mental back on track, because I feel like the enemy was attacking me. I feel like those dark thoughts were coming back, I'm like, why? I'm sober. I'm not on anything. I'm doing good. I'm, living life. And I had a friend reach out to me, like, have you thought about just reading the Bible? Getting the word just from time to time? I was like, I have, but she's like, but did you actually sit and read? Like, actually analyze and read. Turn your phone off in silence and just read. And then allow the words to fill through your mind. I'm like, yeah. She's like, no, you haven't. Because if you did, you'd be feeling peace right now amongst yourself. I'm like, and I didn't understand it. It's kind of, okay, she's probably just preaching it to me. Cool, it's fine, But then when I went home and sat in my backyard, turned phone off, had a cigar, and just started reading. And I took a second to read, and I slowed myself down. I just had a power read. I took a second and read slowly, analyzing the words, what it was saying. And even if it didn't relate to what I was going through, I just felt energy in me. I felt goodness, and I felt positivity, and and I just kind of like, man, So I took a second. I prayed. I confessed to God my sins. I confessed the things that I was feeling, going through what I've done, and I cried. I let this energy out, and I exerted it, and I just cried for a good 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But I cried. I laughed. And the crazy part, I laughed even harder because I was like, I'm sitting here in my backyard crying. My neighbors probably think I'm crazy, just laughing and talking to myself. But I was like, no, man, God's here listening to me, and I'm expressing myself. And I learned that if I give it all to Him and let Him take control and just do what He's showing me, because, there's been signs clear as day to me that I ignored.
Yeah.
And now I look at it, I'm like, okay, I get why this happened. Okay, I get why that person acted like that. Or I get why blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. So that's an aspect that's definitely been helping me out through this. But every morning I get up and I go to the mirror, tell myself I'm a handsome dude. Life is good. There's nothing to be stressed about. I'm joking about the handsome part. But, life is good, Rich. It's going to be a good day. You might have a bad moment, but hey, those are just moments. And I'm just reminding myself that I have a job. I have, my community. I have myself, my health, because I realize some people have it worse.
Yeah.
Way worse.
Exactly.
And I think that's where I need to realize, you know what, man, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And just simply saying I'm okay reminds me that I'm okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's all I've been doing. And you guys been seeing me in the gym here just going.
Grind.
Oh, no, yeah.
I love it now. I really find the passion, and it's helping me get out the energy and just, exerting and letting out. And then talking to you guys, having, brotherhood, talking and sharing energy. It's just good. So, yeah, man, I'm back. I'm good. I'm ready to go. So it's that. And,
He's back.
I'm ready to see what happens next, So, yeah. But that's pretty much what I kind of did to get back out of that darkness.
Yeah.
I
feel you.
I like to ramble a little bit. You can tell. I talk a little bit. But
That's good.
It's like how you brought up the whole thing about God. Like I'm not saying I'm very religious, but I am religious. I'm Catholic.
Yeah.
And the same thing, like for me, that thing that helped me get through what I went through was give my life to God as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
But I do go to the Santissimo, and I do pray for 10 minutes and think and give God thanks for what I have, and I never ask questions. Why did this happen? Why did that happen? It's more like thank you for putting me in the situations to make me grow as a person.
Yeah.
And like how you said, like I see things more like God puts people into our lives for a reason. People stay, people go, and we had to learn how to accept that as well. And He puts us in certain situations for us to go through to understand how strong we are mentally, and to grow as well. So that played a big part of who I am today. To learn that and to accept things for what they are. To let people go if I have to. Let go of the negativity and keep positive.
That's true.
So that's what I try and keep at the gym. I try to remain humble, stay down to earth. I may look mean, but I'm not.
Nah, you look
Trust
sweet.
me.
You look sweet.
Trust me. So
yeah. That's
I
awesome,
try
dude.
to keep a positive vibe. So
Got to, man.
if you think I'm mean, I'm not that mean. Okay?
He's a sweetheart, I promise. Trust me, he's nice.
Say hi if you want.
So yeah, and about you, Steve?
Yeah, I'm really deep in my faith too, as far as with God. Growing up, my stepmom and that side of the family, little brother, little sister, they're Christian, so they go to church every Sunday. And for me, I grew up with my mom. She's Catholic, but she's not really hard on her religion. So for me, I didn't really grow up with her when it comes to prayer and just talking about reading the Bible and all that stuff. I got that from my stepmom, and I can never really say oh, I'm Catholic or Christian. I just know that
Your faith.
my faith.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I have a Bible myself. I read once in a while. Be honest, I don't pray all the time, but I pray in my hardest moments. The time where I really need to I'm sitting with myself and I'm like, okay, I just need to speak my mind and be heard. And so I want to have a little story real quick. It relates to my cousin. So I remember before he took his life last year, I remember about a month ago from there. So it was March. I got a tattoo, my very first one, and it says Joshua 1:9.
Okay.
So I remember getting that tattoo because it meant something to me.
Yeah.
And I got the cross, and I remember it was awesome. My very first one. I was so happy about it. And then when that tragic moment happened, I remember when we went to his funeral, and we had how when you go to funerals they have little cards in memory of and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bible verse they put was Joshua 1:9. And I was like, what the heck? I was like, wow, like it wasn't planned, obviously.
Yeah.
And so I was like, it meant more to me now because, from that. And
Do you mind
man.
sharing with the viewers what the verse is? Do you know the verse?
Yeah, so you're gonna be on the spot right now.
It's okay. Hey, we got
brave
Google.
and courageous.
Okay.
Be brave and courageous. If you have God with you, I don't know exactly the verse, but yeah, I remember brave and courageous. So I got that one, and then my cousin was into lions too. So I remember when seeing that verse, I remember seeing like lions in the background, because that's like kind of like their staples, like they're brave, and they're alphas. So I remember getting that, and then when that all happened, I was like, oh, this means a lot more to me now.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I mean, my faith, I know my faith in God, but I'm not as deep into it as like my little sister and brother and my stepmom. Like when I have my family come over at the house, they'll talk about God all night.
Yeah.
And I'll get the little snippets. I'm like, this is the time when I'm like, okay, I'll listen a little bit, a little bit, dabble in a little bit, but I'm not like, I'm here and there.
There you go.
I try to get back in my faith, and I'm like, okay.
There you go. Yeah, I got a verse on me too. It says Psalms 23:6. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And I sometimes use that verse to remind me in situations that I think, man, my life is horrible, it's crap. And I'm like, nah, it's not. That's why I got it tattooed on me, and I need to remind myself. And it's funny that you brought that up because I forgot I even had that tattoo on me right now, to be honest. And now I think I'm like, damn, like it's right there. So yeah, you got any verses you like, Danny?
I'm gonna be quite honest with you. Honestly, I haven't read the Bible in a while.
It's okay.
Like what I do is I pray. I go to the church and I just give thanks. I give thanks for what I have and the people that I have in my life and for just pretty much what I have and I never, like I said, I never question anything about why I went through this, why he put me through this. I just give thanks because it made me who I am.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna start reading the Bible now. So I don't get it first.
Do it at your own pace.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No worries, bro. That's good, man.
It's been a while. It's been a while. I'll say that. That I've read the Bible. So.
I know. Trust me. It's probably been the first time I actually read the Bible because I used to just read and not fall asleep on it, but I kind of like I don't know what I'm reading, so I just close it. I understand, and so. But yeah, man, it's awesome. It's awesome you guys shared that. I'm thankful for that. Again, look at we have brotherhood to remind each other about that stuff. So, yeah.
Right.
But I mean, honestly, this podcast first one back is just kind of I'm just winging it with you guys right now because, like I said, I'm just getting back into it again. But hearing what you guys shared again reminds me of where we're at and what we can do in life, not only as men but just people and human beings here and the fitness community itself. I mean, I'm sure now people will see this and be able to have a different view on you and on Danny, and it's just the energy you guys can bring out here. Just like we had Adrian last time, like we want him, to be able to continue sharing what we shared here off podcast, knowing that people can talk to you, reach out, have conversation, and so I thank you guys for being open, honest, vulnerable, and sharing your stories about it. I mean, it's huge because, like I said, again, we're guys in the community that I feel that we do hold an aspect here of our fitness, strength, everything we share, competing, bodybuilding. What a lot of people do, so if we able to do this is another aspect to let people know, hey, it's okay to feel, it's okay to share, it's okay to be open, so yeah. So thank you
I had to learn that, man.
Well, thank you for having me on, man.
Of course.
Thank you for having us on.
I mean, before we close out, you guys want to share anything else lastly to the viewers, a word to them, or you look at them, not me. Look at them. He's like, I'm nervous.
I guess so. It's going back to like how you have your clothing company in Concord, and then I know you were trying to build a clothing brand. So he's in the works or something, right? So me personally, I want to do the same, and it was, the first when I wanted to make it, it was more just like, I want to be a businessman or entrepreneur, make my own company. I already know the name what I'm gonna do for mine. It's gonna be called A-Dub. So what that is you always know, like when you play video games, like, oh, I got me a dub, right? I got me a win. You're winning. You're winning in life. You're winning in games. With anything.
Dubs, but yeah.
But that was the name I wanted to put. But the reason why I also picked that name, it's a two-part meaning. So the first meaning is that everybody's gonna know, you're winning in life, right? Anything you're doing. The second part is going back to my cousin again. his name was Andrew, but his nickname was A-Dub.
A-Dub.
So
Oh, okay.
I was like, for him, growing up, we were all about working out or being fit or in sports. We love football. We went to the gym whenever we could, and so I'm dedicating that to him as well.
That's
so,
awesome.
that's something that I can like represent, my brand and myself, but also with him.
Yeah.
He's gonna be with me throughout the whole way. So I'm in the works and trying to build that and trying to get that going, and then see where it goes from there. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's awesome.
That's dope,
That's super
man.
awesome.
That's dope.
Thank you for that. That's awesome, dude. What about you, Danny?
Well, for all I have my brand Conquer. We're Conquer Active, and my favorite quote, I even have it on my shirts too. It says, "Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid to not try." So, what that is, I promote, like, it's not, for me, it's not about making money. It's about giving people the mindset, don't be afraid to try anything.
Yeah.
It's whatever you are afraid of doing, do it. Because at the end of the day, if we're in a comfortable spot, you're never going to experience what life really is.
Exactly.
And if you fail, it's okay. Just get up and try it again.
Yeah.
And because life is all about opportunities, and it's pretty much also, sorry if I'm trying to.
You're good. Take your time, brother. Take your time.
It's more about having a positive mindset.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and so it's, don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid to not try. So whatever it is, give it a try. If you fail, get up, do it again.
Okay.
So
And do you mind me using that for the title for episode 3?
go right ahead.
Perfect. We got our
Hey,
title right there. So yeah,
Yes,
like
sir.
Danny said, Steve said, like we said, we're all in this day, guys. We're going through it. You're gonna get through it. It's just a moment in time, all right? So, I mean, other than that, thank you guys. Seriously, thank you for being on this.
Appreciate you
I
having
want to see you
here.
guys. Yeah, for sure, man. Always like it's a huge. I feel more honored having you guys here, and then anyway, because you guys are being open and vulnerable about yourselves. And it's awesome. Regardless of what the community thinks, it doesn't matter. You guys are being honest and open, and it's powerful. That's how I look at it, because you know what? We'll just leave it at that. It's awesome, you guys. I love you guys as brothers. Thank you guys
Love you
again.
too, man.
Love
Appreciate you
you
guys
too, man.
seriously. And then lastly, you guys watching, we thank you guys for being here, checking us out, showing that love. I'm sorry for the delay, but we're back at it. Again, so I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. Thank you guys. We appreciate all the love. Shout out to the people helping with our film crew. We appreciate you guys as well. It's awesome. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys, hearing the feedback. Make sure, send us a like, subscribe, follow. Share your story with me. Reach out to me if you want me to share your stuff as well. I don't need to put you on here if you don't want to be here, but I can share it for you, talk about it, but whatever it is. But please reach out, give me feedback, and lastly, for the men out there, the month's coming to end. Men, you're not alone. You are not alone. You have 3 men right here telling you that you're not alone. If you're going through a moment, reach out to your friend, a brother, a colleague, even the hotlines. You have somebody here to listen. We love you. We care, man. We're all gonna get through this. Just don't throw in the flag, okay? Keep your head up. We got this, okay? Just ask for the help, okay?
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You have people that care about you.
100%.
Mhm.
100%. And with that being said, you guys, thank you for tuning in for Fitness for Mind podcast. Appreciate you guys. Take care and have a good night. Again, you guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Seriously,
Of course,
thank you.
appreciate it,
Thank you,
man.
Of course. Bam. And we're out.
Peace out, guys.